Welcome back. In this lesson, I'm going to show you a production-ready multi-agent system connected to a CRM. You can set this up for your own business or sell it to clients for a few $1,000s. These agents handle customer support, lead qualification, booking, follow-ups, and sales conversations on WhatsApp or SMS. This system is built for home services companies like plumbing, electrical, and HVAC, but you can easily adapt it to other industries just by changing the prompts and the knowledge base. So let's dive in. Yes, so this system handles customer inquiries 24/7. It replies instantly. The agents ask the right questions to qualify the leads, move them toward booking, or hand off to a real human when needed. As you can see, these agents are of course built in n8n, but we also use GoHighLevel as the CRM, which I highly recommend for production-ready agents like this. And the reason is simple. GoHighLevel gives us everything in one place: WhatsApp and SMS messaging, contact management, pipelines and stages, automation workflows, tagging, delays, and routing. So n8n handles the decision making, and GoHighLevel handles communication and orchestration. And thanks to that, this setup is stable in production. Even though this example uses WhatsApp, if you don't want to use the official WhatsApp business API, you can use services like GHL, which is really easy to set up. It also works with SMS, so if you are based in the US, you can use Twilio instead, which is also really easy to set up. Basically, we've got a complete automation that handles customer inquiries 24/7, from first contact through qualification, all the way to booking or human handover. And does it so naturally that customers can't tell they're talking to AI. Now look at this conversation so you can see how it works in practice. I sent a simple hi from my personal WhatsApp to a company called Home Fix Services, and one of the agents responded, introduced itself by name, mentioned the company, and asked a question about what type of help I needed. So I replied plumbing, and the agent didn't repeat information. It moved forward and asked about urgency. So when I said it was urgent and described the issue, the agent acknowledged the problem, built a bit of trust, and naturally guided me toward booking a service visit. So it provided the link to book a home visit in the calendar. And notice how it didn't send one big chunk of text. This was because the response was split into short messages. So the same way a real person types on WhatsApp to mimic human-like behavior. This was a separate test. Then I said, I am in Birmingham. Can you come out? Sorry, Damien, we only cover London and Manchester, not Birmingham. And that was because in order to answer questions related to services or about the company itself, the agent relied on the knowledge base of this company. So it didn't guess or hallucinate. And the same thing happened when I asked whether the company worked on gas boilers or if it could install solar panels. And each time the agent clearly said no, which was correct according to the knowledge base. Of course, you can easily change the style of the responses by tweaking the prompt, but we found that this was the most natural way. Also, by using the link from the resources section of this lesson, you can get a 30-day free trial on GoHighLevel instead of 14 days. So you can learn and test everything without spending any money. And you'll be able to deploy this yourself for your own business or sell it as a service to your clients. You can, of course, find all the templates attached to this lesson as well. So let's dive in. Yes, so the problem this setup solves is that a lot of businesses lose leads and customers simply because they don't respond fast enough. And people message businesses on WhatsApp at all hours, and if they don't get a quick reply, they move on and contact someone else, so the competitors. And the second issue is the CRM side of things. Even when businesses do respond, conversations are often scattered across WhatsApp, SMS, and emails, not properly tracked, not tied to pipeline stages, and not followed up consistently. So leads fall through the cracks, follow-ups get missed, and there is no clear visibility into what's happening with each inquiry. In this example, Home Fix Services operates in London and Manchester and offers plumbing, electrical, and HVAC services, right? So they were dealing with both of these problems: slow response times and a lack of a structured system to manage conversations and follow-ups. And to fix both of these issues, slow replies and messy CRM processes, I built this system that's fully connected to the CRM on GoHighLevel. And instead of one AI agent trying to do everything, we split the work across 3 specialized agents. And each one has a separate job, and they all work inside the same system. So the intro agent handles that first message. It replies instantly, acknowledges what the customer said, asks the first relevant question, and honestly, this is where most leads get lost. So getting this really matters. Then the support sales agent, which is here, handles the main conversation. It figures out what service they need, how urgent it is, where they are located, answers questions using the knowledge base. As you can see, we've got Supabase Vector Store here, and moves them toward booking. Then the follow-up agent will follow up the next day if the conversation goes quiet, if the customer don't reply. It sends a short message based on what was discussed. Because all of the agents have memory. Also, if at any point the customer asks to speak with someone, the real person, the conversation gets handed over inside the CRM and the real person takes over from there, because here we've got a node to classify the customer inquiry, so it will be passed to a human if needed. All right, now let's talk about the tech stack in a bit more detail. Yes, so as I said, we use GoHighLevel as the CRM because it gives us everything in one place. It receives WhatsApp and SMS messages, all right? Manages contacts, pipelines, and tags, hosts the 6 automation workflows. As you can see, we've got a WhatsApp agent, intro and personalization automation, a WhatsApp agent aggregation. In this automation, we aggregate all the messages from the customer. Then we've got a WhatsApp processing automation to process the aggregated messages. We also have got a separate automation for follow-up, for human handover, and automation to send response back to the user. In GoHighLevel, we track pipeline stages and sends the actual messages to customers. And this is where the conversations are stored and where humans and take over when needed. Now in n8n, once again, we've got all the agents and the logic. As I mentioned, we have the intro agent, the support and sales agent, and follow-up agent. So n8n routes requests to the right agent. We are using switch node to do this. It manages conversation memory, connects to the knowledge base, as you can see here in intro agent and support and sales agent. We connected Supabase as our database to store the knowledge base, and we use Postgres chat memory to give our agents memory to be able to remember the context of conversations. So we connect our agent to the knowledge base and returns structured response using agent response formatter back to GoHighLevel. So basically, all decision making happens here in n8n. So Supabase handles storage for the knowledge base and memory. As I said, it's used for 2 things: the vectorized knowledge base, like services, coverage, rules, frequently asked questions, and also conversational memory, stored using PostgreSQL chat memory node. So this allows the AI to search the company knowledge base semantically, remember past messages, and avoid repeating questions or hallucinating answers. For intelligence, we are using OpenAI's models. In all of these nodes, we are using GPT 4.1 mini as the chat model. Also OpenAI embeddings node for knowledge base retrieval. So the embeddings allow the system to understand meaning, not just keywords, right? So similar questions still return the correct answers. And here at the bottom, we also got two smaller automations. So Google Drive is used to manage the company knowledge base, and this is where we store the knowledge base for this company, HomeFix. You can store and edit documents, so services offered by this company, coverage areas, emergency rules, booking information, and so on. So when a document is updated, it automatically syncs into the vector store on Supabase. So the AI always uses the latest information. Now WhatsApp and SMS using Twilio are just communication channels. So that's where customers actually interact with the business. If you are based in the US, you can easily swap WhatsApp for SMS using Twilio inside GoHighLevel, or if you prefer, you can change the official WhatsApp business API for WA GHL, which is really easy to set up, the same as Twilio, and the rest of the system stays exactly the same. So the full flow looks like this. Customer sends a WhatsApp message, GoHighLevel receives this message in this automation, all right, using this trigger. As you can see, customer replied. Then the contact is automatically created right here in this tab, contacts. Then in this first automation, GoHighLevel calls n8n using webhook. As you can see, a intro message agent. So GoHighLevel calls n8n agents. So our system. So n8n processes it using AI plus knowledge base plus memory. The response goes back to GoHighLevel through this HTTP request node, sends it back to the customer using this last automation, a WhatsApp agent response. All right? So that's the high-level overview of how this system works. Now let's actually go through the n8n workflow step by step. So we've got three main sections. So this section at the top is the intro agent. The green section on the right is the support sales agent, which includes the human handover logic. And the red section at the bottom is the follow-up agent. On the left side, we have the entry point where all requests come in. Before we dive into each agent, let me explain the routine logic first, because this is really important to understand. So we've got this webhook node, and this is where every request from GoHighLevel arrives. When GoHighLevel calls n8n, it sends a few pieces of information, the contact ID, which is the unique identifier for the customer, the contact name, the contact phone number, their message or aggregated messages, and something called AI type, which tells n8n which agent to use. Now don't worry, if you use the link from the resources section of this lesson and import the snapshot, everything, all automations, values, all settings will be automatically imported for you, so you don't need to create any of this from scratch.